just wondering, what helps you guys get into character before you start filming a new episode or the new series?
I don't know. It's like all blank.
Well, sometimes because the producers like to keep it fresh, we get the episodes pretty late. So sometimes it's spontaneity. But I guess for me, accent-wise, kind of each day, just about kind of I don't know, warming up, walking about, talking like Merlin for for the morning. But I mean, each episode brings a new challenge, and whether it's an emotional one, a comic one, or whatever it is, you just do your work on it, because we film completely out of sequence. So you'll be filming a scene from episode 5, followed by one from episode 8, followed by one from. So it's just about knowing the stories really, really well.
Well, the transformation from Katie into Morgana is fairly massive and takes about an hour and a half. So by the time I'm finished that, I pretty much feel like a completely different person. So that, for me, much shorter answer than Colin's.
For me, I suppose I just kind of focus on the script and the sentiment of the scene and stuff. If it's a particularly sort of fast and furious scene, there's quite a lot of jumping up and down and running on the spot that happens, that we all kind of do together.
But before we start each series, we have a week of rehearsals. So just before we started filming in March this week, we had a week of rehearsals. Mainly, they're just an opportunity for the cast to read the scripts, talk to the director, for Julian and I to kind of talk through our plans for the series, so the actors kind of get a sense of where the series is going. And then there's also an awful lot of fight rehearsals. And then what we do for each block, because we film 3 episodes at a time, we always do a read-through before we start filming a block. So we spend an afternoon with the actors in a room and all the guest stars, and we read through the episodes, and then if there are any, if the actors have any problems with the scripts, I tell them to shut up and tell them that it's good, and then we carry on and we work on them, we start filming.
Okay, we have a question from just down the front here for this young lady.
Hi Katie, you look really pretty today. I was just wondering what your favourite costume is in the show.
I've got some new costumes this year, and they are unbelievable. I don't want to say too much, but they're really amazing. Sorry if you... So I'm going to say the ones this year, but I don't want to say what they are because I don't want you to not be surprised. So tune in, and I guarantee you'll know what I'm talking about when you see it. It's a very specific one.
Okay, we have a question.
You know what it is.
We have a question from a friend next to you.
Okay. Hi guys, I was wondering, what advice would you give to anyone who wants to go into acting as a career?
My advice would be don't do it. It's an unbelievably hard career. You have to deal with a huge amount of rejection, and only a very small percentages of actors actually work. I mean, the cast of Merlin are kind of the exception. They're in work. A lot of actors spend most of their careers out of work. So I think if you want to be an actor, you've got to really, really want to do it and be utterly determined and make sure that that determination is unquestioning. And then good luck, is my advice.
I think you kind of have to understand that the reality of the business is a lot of you do get a lot of rejection, as Johnny says, but a lot of it is about luck and being in the right place at the right time and meeting the right people. And if you do get rejected, it's best not to be too sort of downhearted about it and just to kind of move on to the next audition or whatever, because you know that there's probably nothing you could have done to actually have got the job in the first place. That's up to the people who are casting you and stuff. So just keep at it, really.
So much of it is out of your own control. I think having sort of a very full and very varied life and having a lot to draw on as an actor really helps. So, like I love history and reading and things like that, and that for me all helps build up working on a character and things like that. But so the more strings you have to your bow, I think the better.
I'd say also find out what your inspirations are. Watch films that you like. If you like the actor, did they read any books? Did they read any biographies? What was their life like? How did they go about it? And that never be idle. If you're going for an audition for something, you know, is there anything that relates to it? You know, but, you know, just anything you can do that gives you the best possible opportunity. Because if you walk into an audition and know that you did, you know, 100% work on it, then you can't walk away and say it was your fault. You know.
We have a question from a lady at the back.
Hi, this is for Colin. I know last time you were here, somebody asked what was the strangest thing a fan's ever done, and you and Bradley agreed that it was someone gave you some vegetables for some reason. I was wondering if anything's out strange to that since then.
The answer to that is yes. I'm not sure it's you know, it's probably suitable for all ears, so I'll not be specific. But the fan response has been absolutely amazing, and obviously we, you know, sorry for saying this line, but it honestly it is impossible without the support and the fans that watch the show, and genuinely we really appreciative of all the support we get.
Okay, we have a question from a young man here.
This is a question for Colin. Will we see you use your more magic powers exposed? And
you're for sure you're going to see a lot more magic and a different kind of magic in a way. In terms of whether it's exposed at this stage, it's not at the stage we're filming at the minute. I don't know how that's going to progress. But yeah, at the end of series 2, we saw Merlin acquire a different power, the power of the Dragon Lords, and that's something that's going to be interesting to see.
Okay, we're continuing towards the back. We have a lady here.
Hi, I absolutely love your show. I was just wondering what it was that made you want to do about the youth of Merlin and Arthur. I think it's an interesting approach.
Well, the reason why we chose that was Julian and I were very keen to do another high concept show, and we were fascinated by the legend and the mythology of Merlin and King Arthur. And we thought it was, when we were back about 4 or 5 years ago when we were developing it, we were just wondering about what kind of original take we could take on it and how we could reinvent it for a 21st century audience. One thing that occurred to us is that nobody really explored the young Merlin, and we were always fascinated by stories of empowerment like Spider-Man, Superman, where the sort of somebody discovers that they have these innate abilities, and so to us it seemed a natural progression to play around with the legend and reinvent it, and so that's why we came up with the idea of doing a young Merlin rather than the old guy with the pointy hat and the beard. And so the original idea was just to have young Merlin and his sort of uncle of the time, which was a character called Gaius. And then as we started playing it and playing around with the legend, we then brought in all the other characters. And at the time I was watching Smallville and thought that Smallville was amazing in the way it sort of restarted the legend. That was kind of, and so we then built around all the other young characters. So I guess, you know, it was always, to us, it was fascinating about telling a story of a young boy who was Merlin and how he was, how he gained strength and found himself with the use of his powers and magic.
Okay, we have a question from a young lady.
Because you're both so cool, who would win in a fight between Morgana and Merlin?
Morgana, definitely. Out of shadow of a doubt. Got no answer there, do ya?
Don't hurt me.
I think she's got a more killer instinct. Although,
I think that either of them could win on different levels, I would say.
You're so diplomatic. I would kick your ass.
Bring it on.
Right, before they kill each other.